Japanese aircraft carriers that had dominated the Pacific for 6 straight months would be destroyed in less than 5 minutes, changing the course of World War II forever. The battle that made this possible began with one ambitious Japanese plan, one intelligence breakthrough, and one decision that would prove fatal. This is the story of the Battle of Midway, the naval battle that ended Japan's offensive in the Pacific and shifted the momentum of the war to the United States. June 1942 marked the height of Japan's military expansion, with its empire stretching across the Pacific after a series of stunning victories that had left the Allied powers struggling to recover. In just 6 months, Japan had shattered the illusion of Western dominance in Asia by defeating British, American, Dutch, and Australian forces in one campaign after another. Capturing the oil-rich Dutch East Indies had solved Japan's greatest strategic problem by providing the fuel needed to keep its navy, air force, and industries operating. Yet behind every victory, Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto understood a dangerous reality that many Japanese leaders preferred to ignore. He knew that Japan could win battles against the United States, but it could never compete with the enormous industrial capacity of American factories if the war lasted for years. Yamamoto believed the only chance of victory was to destroy America's remaining aircraft carriers before they could become the backbone of a growing Pacific fleet. His chosen target was Midway Atoll, a tiny island more than 1,000 miles northwest of Hawaii that served as a vital American outpost in the Central Pacific. Yamamoto expected the Americans to rush their carriers from Pearl Harbor to defend Midway, allowing the Imperial Japanese Navy to trap and destroy them in one decisive battle. If Midway fell and the American carriers were destroyed, Japan believed the United States might accept a negotiated peace instead of continuing a long and costly war. Confidence inside the Imperial Japanese Navy was high because every major naval battle since Pearl Harbor had ended in Japanese success. The daring Doolittle raid over Tokyo in April 1942 reminded Japanese leaders that American carriers were still capable of striking the Japanese homeland. The bombing caused little physical damage, but it embarrassed Japan's military leadership and strengthened Yamamoto's determination to eliminate the American carrier threat once and for all. On May 28, 1942, one of the largest Japanese naval forces ever assembled quietly departed its home ports and began sailing east toward Midway. At the center of the operation were 4 powerful fleet carriers carrying hundreds of experienced pilots who had already participated in many of Japan's greatest victories. Yamamoto believed surprise would guarantee victory because he assumed the Americans had no idea where or when the attack would take place. What he never suspected was that American cryptanalysts stationed in Hawaii had already broken critical parts of Japan's naval communication system. By carefully analyzing thousands of encrypted radio transmissions, American intelligence officers gradually uncovered Japan's plan to attack Midway. To confirm their suspicions, American officers instructed Midway to transmit an unencrypted message claiming the island's water purification system had failed. Soon afterward, Japanese radio traffic reported that a location identified only as AF was experiencing a water shortage, confirming beyond doubt that Midway was the intended target. Admiral Chester Nimitz now possessed one advantage that would change the entire battle because he knew where Japan was going before the Japanese fleet even reached the objective. Instead of waiting for the attack, Nimitz secretly positioned his carriers northeast of Midway where they could surprise the Japanese fleet when the opportunity appeared. The American plan depended on every available carrier, but one of them appeared unlikely to reach the battlefield in time. USS Yorktown had been heavily damaged during the Battle of the Coral Sea, and engineers estimated that proper repairs would require several weeks. Nimitz refused to accept that estimate because every carrier might determine the outcome of the coming battle. More than 1,400 shipyard workers climbed aboard Yorktown and began working around the clock in one of the most remarkable repair efforts in naval history. Men slept wherever they could find space before returning to work only minutes later because everyone understood the urgency of the mission. Against every expectation, Yorktown became seaworthy again in only 72 hours and immediately sailed back toward the Pacific with her crew preparing for another battle. While both fleets closed the distance across thousands of miles of open ocean, neither side realized that the battle about to begin would decide the future of the Pacific War.